Peace, world. I'm in here doing double duty tonight. I'm gonna watch this Phoenix Suns game against the Denver Nuggets. And I'm gonna jump in here and talk about my thoughts on last night's card on ESPN, the Shakur Stevenson and Jeremiah Nakathila fight. I'm also gonna talk some shit. I got to get some stuff off my chest tonight with all these man-loving boxing fans out here, male and female loving boxing fans out here. You're not allowed to talk about what you see. We're not allowed to be honest about what we see. Somebody that knows additional detail, you're not allowed to talk about the additional details that you know that other people don't give a shit about. Can't do that because you hurting somebody's feelings. Can we even talk about Shakur Stevenson getting a little flat last night? Or is he not loved enough by some guys where it doesn't matter? You can't say nothing about Deontay Wilder and Claressa Shields. Totally off limits. Totally off limits. But let me start there real quick. Tired of coming in with the humble fashion and shit. Cat come in the comment section talking about this dude is goofy. Goofy. I'd rather be goofy any day of the week besides simple-minded, small-minded. I take goofy any day of the week. So I went on and threw my links up, and I hate to even have to, it means nothing for me to even say some of this stuff because the majority of you don't care about none of this shit. But it's almost like J. Cole on applying pressure when he gets into the speech at the end about sometimes you got to go do what you do because no one else can do what you do. And then when you do what you do, and he went into his whole thing about, he did it and I knew he could do it and I know I could never do it the way he did it. I went on and threw my links out there for the people that check in on the channel for the first time and want to come in and talk about what I do and don't do and what I'm about and not about. Some links down there in the description for the websites that I've been writing for over the last several years. When a lot of people didn't care about boxing last year, when shit shut down, when a lot of people went on and did other shit, focused on other shit, and didn't care about all the fights that Top Rank put on all summer. And then when Showtime came back to the fold and the Zone came back to the fold with the fight camp, a lot of the stuff that a lot of y'all didn't give a shit about, R.L. Woodson, old Wood was sitting here watching all of that shit while y'all was out doing whatever, waiting for Deontay Wilder to get his trilogy fight or whatever, and watching videos, fake ass videos about detail that they didn't even talk about. I can't tell you I got real evidence of the cheating. I got real evidence. And then you watch the whole 15-minute video and don't even see evidence. That's why I don't even know why I waste my time with this shit, man. You don't even know what people even know. I mean, in internet boxing, is the color blue really blue? Is red really red? Like I don't even know what I'm talking to some people. What are you basing any of this shit on? What are you talking about? So let me go back to the whole Claressa Shields thing from Thursday night. Again, check down on the video on the playlist. Got a couple interviews with her. Been in a couple press conferences with her. You can Google my name and shit and find some articles that I wrote on Claressa Shields doing fight previews, schedule announcements, different awards that she won away from boxing. I can show you my receipts when I traveled up to Flint 2 years ago for the fight that she was supposed to have against Habazin. and paid for my room for a few nights to cover the fight. And her brother got in the shit, punched my man in the head, the trainer of Habazin, and the shit was canceled. And I was there in town spending my own money. Check in on the channel when I'm doing some of my shit. Don't check in on the channel out the blue and then want to come in and talk about what I don't know. Who are you? What are you talking about? What do you know? Why you over here hating? Who the hell has time to hate? If you love some of these fighters, if you love them like they do something for you, like they pay your bills or something, they send you a little, they cash app you some shit. If you love these dudes like that, then that speaks volumes about you. I talk about pros and cons. I talk about the good and the bad. I talk about the entire fight. I cover a lot of details. I'm sorry if that shit is boring for a lot of people. You just want, a lot of y'all want to just, you like who you like, and you want to find somebody on YouTube that's just going to talk about that person as flattering and as glowingly as you think of that person. And that's what you look for. I ain't got no problems with Claressa Shields. I just said, for me and my time, instead of me trying to check her out in her MMA venture, I'm probably out on that. I got better stuff to do than to see that. There are 2 or 3, maybe even 4 fights out there in the boxing world I would check out. No problem. I ain't really fooling with the chat too much. Come join you. I don't even want to fuck with UGC Flame. I like what they do. I do. But I don't really want to fuck with nobody around on none of this shit. I ain't got time for it. Everybody is in their own lane. And I'm grateful that everybody has their own lane. And that's cool. I stop in and I check some shit out here and there and I keep it moving. They're going to say I'm on the internet all day. What's up, Ronald Finkley, man? I'm just on here venting while I watch this Phoenix game. But back to Claressa Shields. You know, man, I can only listen to anybody. I don't care if it's Deontay Wilder. I don't care if it's Kevin Durant, LeBron James. I can only listen to somebody for so long before I think for myself. I know I understand a lot of stuff for myself. I don't need Bob Arum, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko. I don't need a lot of people to tell me how to process what I sit here and watch week in and week out. If you're good with Malik Scott being the head trainer of Deontay Wilder, I'm glad that you're happy. Me and the way that I look at things and consider myself somewhat analytical, especially when it comes to sports, it raises a red flag for me. But that's his prerogative. That's Team Wilder. That's his camp. That's his decision. I sit here and see how it turns out. I can do that. You want to tell me that Claressa Shields is the GWOAT because she told you she's the GWOAT. Cool. I mean, I ain't got no problem with that. Shit, just a nickname to me. She could be Method Woman or the chef or whatever the hell she wants to be. It all be the same to me. I don't even know why that's so such a big deal from time to time that she calls herself the GWOAT. What does it mean in the big scheme of things? Claressa Shields sits there and tells you that she should be a millionaire or she should make more than $1 million or have made more than $1 million. Hey man, it's a free country. A pair of lips can say anything. She can say whatever she wants to say. Fact of the matter is, in the sport of boxing, everybody that we've been talking about for the last 60, 50, 70 years, everybody that we've talked about has had dance partners. That's why we really don't talk a whole lot about Layla Ali, to be honest with you. Don't nobody know nothing about what Layla Ali did in the ring. She didn't have no dance partners. Shit, she do better with all her shit since she left boxing. We just know that she's attractive. She hosts shit. She got some seasoning. She got some workout shits. You can get a 14-day cleanse from her. She got some shit at Nordstrom. I had to call World Breaker Fighting, man. Okay. I could end the shit there. I had to call World Breaker Fighting out. He made a whole video about me being a mod when all I did was support channels. I told the dude, come see me on Border Wars. World Breaker, you know, respect to that brother. Like I said, he got his own lane. He wants to be the intellect, the historian, the economic guy, whatever. Good for him. It's great that what they're doing over there. Salute to them. You know, this real dude say they support you, but they never show up. That's why I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Some of these dudes on YouTube and on internet, they love these people that they don't even know, and their best friend or their man is trying to do some very important shit. They don't click on none of his shit. They don't like none of his shit. They don't buy none of his shit. But be ready to go to war with you. Be ready to go to war with you and call you all kind of names and outside and whatever. Disrespect you in all kind of way. In all kind of ways. Because you said, I don't know, you just questioned something in some detail about the person that they like. Shit weird to me. I ain't got no friends in none of this shit. None of these fighters. I text some of these guys. I call some of these guys. As soon as shit go wrong for them, or shit, as soon as shit goes right or wrong for them, they don't answer your call no more. But I was the only one. I was the only one interviewing you. I got 4 or 5 names right now I could throw out here. I was the only one cared about them dudes. They got on ESPN. And some Latino cat started asking them questions. I couldn't even get my text return no more. Couldn't even get my text return no more. Nobody else even cared about them 2 years ago. No big deal. Keep it moving on to the next. But then you got the people that get on here with these channels and tell you how the black man is this, the black woman this, they hold. Shout out to my man Sheldon Hodge the other night. Dude checks in on the channel regularly. He's up in Michigan. I like the brother. I got no beef with him. But he says something about if Claressa Shields was blonde and had blue eyes, she'd be XYZ. I don't know what the rest of what he said. Why ain't Michaela Mayer XYZ? She is blonde. I believe her eyes are blue or gray or some shit. Where is Michaela Mayer? No, you couldn't go into a sports bar and anybody in 100 people, out of 100 people, not one person would tell you who the hell Michaela Mayer is. I remember the night interview. Oh yeah. I can't even get him to pick up the phone no more. Nobody even cares about him anymore. I still call the brother to see, can you get it back together? Can you figure things out? What's going on? Let me check in on you. Can't even get the dude to answer my call no more. Okay, cool, bro. Cool. No big loss to me. You think when they fight these bullshit ass fights, these predetermined fights, predetermined outcome, and charge you $75 for it, you think they give a damn about you? How you paid for that fight? I said this before. I watch all of this shit by myself. So when it comes to paying for any of this stuff, I don't stream nothing. If I can't pay for it, and if I can't get to the movie theater to check it out, I just miss it. Yeah, I want to see that one. I want to see that one, Finkley. I think Shields would get better respect in the MMA world unless she vies to fight that 168-pound chick. You know, I'm like I said, in what I saw the other night, and I gotta throw a disclaimer out on everything I say for the simple-minded people out there. It's completely expected. It's totally natural that at this stage in where Claressa Shields is with her MMA background and training, it's totally understandable that she doesn't look like she has a lot of tools. I got to throw that disclaimer out there for the sensitive dudes and for the small-minded people. I generally, when I say some criticism about somebody, I'm gonna get some of my game away. Generally, when I criticize somebody or I knock somebody for something, generally when I do that, I say 2 or 3 reasons why I think something might not have happened for that athlete or why they lost. Usually, I try to step into their shoes for a minute and understand why things went the wrong way. I stepped in Shakur Stevenson's shoes last night and understood why he didn't knock the dude out like they thought he would. One, he's not a knockout artist. You know what I'm saying? Probably 7 or 8 out of 10 times when you tune in to watch a Shakur Stevenson fight, newsflash, it's probably gonna go to the cards. Okay. Now, what I didn't like was a hit here, a hit there every 20 seconds or something. You know, you got to get some volume in there and whatnot and beat a dude up versus what he was doing. But we'll get to that in just a second. My girl looking at me now, she know when I'm on my boxing shit. Yeah, that's why I'm down here wasting my time right now. But yeah, so what I'm saying, where Claressa Shields is, what I was trying to convey was I just watched 11 fights of Claressa Shields for boxing, where only maybe 2. We didn't know what Hannah Gabriels was going to do. We thought Christina Hammer might be able to do a little bit more. And then we had Franchon Cruz right out the gate in her first fight. Like, some people, this is what kills me. Some cat try to criticize me and can't even name 4 people that Claressa Shields has fought, but want to tell me I'm the hater. Like I said, when I was talking about the pay-per-view that got put together, did you click on that video? When I was talking about the lineup of the card for the pay-per-view and the price of the pay-per-view, did you click on that video? When I put an in-depth fight breakdown and preview or prediction piece out there about Claressa Shields and Christina Hammer, when Montero and Steve Kim was sitting there dogging the woman, and when I sat here and took out 2.5 hours of my time to do something about that and talk about her in a positive light, did you click on that? Did you share that? Did you say anything to me on Twitter? But Montero will go make a video, don't even really care for the girl. He'll go and make a reaction video to her MMA fight, and some of y'all will go click on that shit and complain and yell and argue. When for him, it's all the same. It's all activity. It's all clicks. It's all buzz. It's all it's engagement. It's views. That's what some of y'all do. Y'all rather go argue with the opposition than to sit there and support the independent dudes that's trying to help the sister out. What can I do with logic like that? What can I do with reasoning like that? Another thing, when I'm watching all of these bullshit ass fights that a lot of y'all don't care about because you watch 3 people, and someone wants to come to my channel for the first time and watch a boxing video and say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. In addition to the writer's page, I got the link in the description for that you can go check me out. 4 or 5 years of hard work. No money in my pocket. Ain't made a dime off of that. I get that to the world though. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. Picked all the best. Picked. They have a challenge on round by round boxing. They have a challenge with all the staff people over there picking the winners of fights. Came in first or second place 2 years in a row. I think the links to the shit might be out there. I really don't care though, because I really hate to even, I really don't even need no credit. I'm not a credit whore. I just came in here trying to talk about boxing a different way than what I saw a lot of dudes winning and entertaining a lot of y'all with. But I see that's how y'all like to be fed. I see that's how people like to be fed. Keep the shit simple, keep it dumb. Say shit that don't mean shit. Say shit with nothing that backs it up. Yeah, I heard Ortiz and Green Machine. That's kind of a tricky situation because Victor Ortiz's manager put something on Instagram and said that there have been no talks whatsoever with it's not Aegis. He's not with Aegis Clemus, is he? He's with this other person, but he said that that really wasn't as far along as they're saying that is. So I don't know. But let me finish out with this Claressa Shields thing so I can get on about my business. I also said I got to throw that disclaimer out there as well. I agreed wholeheartedly with Claressa Shields that the major promoters of boxing in the United States have not done anything for her or for women's boxing. While y'all sitting here loving everything that the PBC does unconditionally, loving everything that they do unconditionally, how come some of these trash fights that we've seen, how come there couldn't have been some women on there? But she said, yeah, top rank, they got their girl in Michaela Mayer. Okay, cool. Ludabella doesn't have a TV deal. He's got a lot of women on his roster. I told y'all again that he's got a series on Fight TV, not on UFC Fight Pass. He's got a all women's series that he's gonna have on UFC Fight Pass. Any one of these other channels out here even mention that in all the shit that they talk? I'll wait. Any one of them even bother to bring that little insignificant note up? You got Tierra Brown over there. You got Kaylee Reese over there. You got Mary McGee over there. You got people that need work. But y'all can't get Deontay Wilder's stick out your mouth to care about anything else. Now, where I would probably ask another question of Claressa Shields if I had that access to her, she walked us through. I was on the press conference when she walked us through that she was supposed to be, or it was talks of her being on the Charlo doubleheader that was last September, I believe. The doubleheader pay-per-view. There was talks initially of her being on that card. My question would, and then she said Showtime gave it a run around. It didn't happen. Talks broke down. It didn't happen. Deontay Wilder getting body, bro. It's gonna be a clinic. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I would have what I would have liked to have asked Claressa Shields was, okay, so your highest purse was 300,000. When you started having the discussions about being on the Charlo brothers, see, when you got to say more than 10 words to explain some shit, the average person in this country already tunes you out. When you got to say more than 7 or 10 words, people like, man, I ain't got no time. I ain't got time for that shit, man. Come on, man. Just tell me what I want to hear. All this shit is yes, no. But I would have asked Claressa Shields, you made 300,000. If you were to be on the Charlo fight, I told every mofo I'll bet you $100 for the Wilder fight. That's bold. I don't know. I don't know. I need to see. Excuse me. I'm probably there with you, but I need to see a couple of things. But I would have asked Claressa Shields if once they really tried to put you on that card, did they tell you instead of $300,000, the best we can do for you is like 150 or 125? And her feeling that that's below her price, maybe she didn't want to fight for that little bit of money. And so maybe something that she said was why she didn't end up being on that card. Why not? Wilder got beat 5 rounds to 19. You mean 5 to 14? Because they fought 19 rounds. Whatever. I mean, it's just me and you in here, man. I ain't no math teacher and shit. But I'm with you. I don't think Wilder won more than 5 rounds of the 19 that they've been in the ring. So that's weighing huge on where I am with that fight. And looking at this third matchup, I'm with you right there. I can't say that I saw him win more than 5 rounds. That's just the truth. But again, you can't say no truth. You know, you can't tell nobody. You can't tell nobody no truth. You get to digging into real details and piss somebody off. But yeah, did they tell Claressa Shields, you can be on this card for 120, 125, 180? Now, since I know a bunch of other details that no one gives a shit about, Claressa Shields might have countered with the fact that she had a card. I'm eating off his next fight. Claressa Shields might have countered that she actually had a fight. I want to say it was the Hannah Gabriels fight. Her fight with Hannah Gabriels had viewership numbers that were comparable to one of the Charlo's fights that happened around that same time. So in Claressa Shields' mind, she was probably like, I'm as popular as them. I do as good a numbers as them. If you giving them, I don't know, 800,000, 1.5 million or whatever, if you're giving them that, then I want my 300. And maybe that's where the card broke down. They had they had like an A and B portion of the card. I want to say Jamal fought Derevianchenko on the first part of the card. And then there was some other world champions on there or eliminator fights that were on there. It was probably too expensive of a card for her. I love the Shields versus Gabriel fight, but the Hammer fight was epic. Yeah, I love both of those fights. I love both of those fights. Gabriel got the knockdown in the first round, and then Shields stormed back, and really dominated the rest of the way. Looked great the rest of the way. So I said I'm not a Shields hater. I'm just not trying to kiss Shields' ass and ignore everything that I know just to be a fan of hers. I don't have to really attack her, but if I see what I see, I did not see she didn't really look great to me last week against another fighter who I felt like didn't have a lot of game. I mean, the girl hadn't won a fight in 2 or 3 years. Her left arm had been broken in 3 places. She works full time. How can somebody that's working full time go in there and go to damn near close you out for 2 rounds? And then, yes, she seized a moment, an opportunity in the 3rd round and got the girl out of there. I mean, that's really all I can say. Well, I'm supposed to be over the moon about that? A cat commented and said, that's epic. That what she did was epic. Man, if I Google the definition of epic right now, how was that epic? That's what I'm saying. Our definitions, blue might be something different to me than what it is to a random person. That was epic. I can't help what your definition of epic is and what satisfies you as epic. I just tweeted or put something on Instagram the other day. Stephen A said that the Spider, Donovan Mitchell. He said he said forget Karl Malone, forget John Stockton. Donovan Mitchell is the greatest Utah Jazz player ever. Come on, bro. How? People just put microphones and cameras and get a little graphic with their name on the box. And what they say means something. I mean, that's the end of it. That's what I'm talking about, Finkley. I just saw her trying. Oh, you mean do more boxing in that fight. She was excellent against Hammer. Excellent. She was excellent against Hammer. I mean, Hammer she won that one going away. She hurt her. Excellent outing. Excellent performance. Again, I ain't get nobody, I put my write-up of the fight out there. All enthusiastic about the shit. Did any of these cats click on those articles? Did they share those articles? Did they respond? Did they say anything to my tweet? Nah. But I come on here and say I'm really not that interested in seeing her in the octagon moving forward when there are other fighters that she could fight conceivably. But then somebody has smoke for me. Man, get the people, boy. Yeah, I'm real. Exactly. I don't use the N-word, but I'm with you. Thank you. Thank you for throwing it in there for me. Yeah. I don't understand. I do understand. It happens all the time. Then the whole clip, and then, getting back to her being the greatest of all time. I mean, again, I hate to get into detail. I hate to shine a light on things that, most fans wouldn't consider. I get it. But it's what I know. It's what I've sat here and watched. She's won 10 titles. Excellent. Great. She's won 10 titles in 11 fights. Excellent. Okay, 5 of those titles were vacant. Okay? 5 of those titles were vacant. That's not me hating on her. That's the definition of hating now. If you point out detail, if you go to the facts and state the facts, that's hating. That qualifies as hating in 2021. Most ignorant shit I've ever heard. I'm just supposed to sit here and shut up and be ignorant and go along with the rest of the sheep and say that she's the greatest. How can she be great and Floyd Mayweather be great? And Floyd fought like what, 24, 25, 26 world champions? How can both people be great? We don't do this shit in any other sport. Now, I understood your message the other day. If a person said they don't support these gladiators and wish them the best, they not real boxing hits. Yeah, I don't hate none of these people. I don't want to hear some of them talk. And that's not because they can't talk or they can't speak or that their English is bad. I'm just saying some people are better in between the lines or in the ring than on the mic. That's just the truth. That's just the truth for me. But yeah, she went into some divisions A lot of these fighters were old. That's the whole thing with her, man, was what's worked against Claressa Shields. That's what's worked against her. One, she doesn't have any dance partners. As an extension of that, beyond that, the reason why she doesn't have any is because she's above 147 pounds. This is not me picking on her. This is not me hating on her. This is not me tearing her down. These are, before she came along, it's like there was nothing going on there. But then you'll sit around, you'll try to argue that Bill Russell is a top 20, top 25 player. What's the first thing the average brother is going to tell you about Bill Russell? Look who he was playing against. He was playing, I don't know, 6'1" white dudes that could only dribble with their right hand. Wasn't no step backs. Wasn't no crossover. Wasn't no Euro step. No one else could outjump the man. No, there was no other athleticism like that in the game. Hell yeah, he won 11 titles. We get to talking about other sports, man, and it's some high level shit. You got to have your shit together to talk about other sports. You got to know all kind of shit. Boxing, you just go along with what the other dude said. She's the greatest of all time. Okay, bro. I'm sorry. Shit. Okay, you're right. Who did she fight though? Did you know the person that she fought before she fought him? Did you know any person that she fought? Do you know any opponent of theirs? Did you see that person that she beat? Did you ever see them in the ring again? Do you even want to see them in the ring again? Are you beating down somebody on Twitter talking about get Nikki Adler back on Showtime? Ain't nobody talked about Christina Hammer since the final bell of the fight against Christina Hammer. Ain't nobody talked about Christina Hammer since. But I'm the bad guy. I'm the hater. Peace, Finkley. Good rapping with you, man. Thanks for checking in. What is it? 3627 Phoenix. So yeah, like I said, man, I hate to even explain shit to people, man, because people listen to 7 words and their mind go back to what they already thought. And it's a waste of my time. I had this realization several years ago, and it's just for me. It's just how I felt. I'm not saying that everybody else should feel this way. I'm not saying this is universal law. I was sitting in the barbershop, and the 4 or 5 guys that was talking the same shit every week, I gradually removed myself from that conversation and did not want to participate in that conversation anymore, because it was just 4 or 5 dudes talking shit. Nobody had anything invested or vested in what they were talking about. Nobody knew any real stats. Well, nobody getting paid for nothing, except you got paid in laughs, I guess, or having control of the floor. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna sit over here and read this book or read this magazine article, or I'm gonna listen to, when earbuds and shit started popping. I was like, man, I'm gonna put my earbuds in and get in my own space and let them have that shit. We've been doing that for 8 years, and ain't none of us on ESPN as talk show hosts or nothing. So I was like, man, I don't have no opinion on that. And that's what YouTube and social media is. It's all the dudes in the barbershop who I didn't want to talk to anymore. It's all those guys over here now, and I still don't want to talk to them. The dude made the comment and said, I can't believe I sat here and watched your video, or I can't believe I watched this shit. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You think I watch anybody's video longer than at the first sign that this conversation is not for me? I'm out. I'm gone. I don't need to make no comment to you. I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to call you no name. I don't need to say that you stupid. Like, good for you. You know, good for you. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna go to another channel, or I'm gonna go put this series on or something. I got better shit to do. Man said, I can't believe I sat here and watched your video. Like, I just go in and take control of somebody's phone and keep them on my channel and shit. Peace, bro. Anyway, man, let me get to now that I wasted my time on that shit. The fights last night. I'm gonna go through the card. Again, man, what I've said for me, man, is I'm tired of watching some of these prearranged weddings, all these different types of fights we have in boxing, the showcase fights, the stay busy fights, these bounce back fights, all the it's like the unspoken shit in baseball. We already know what these fights are when they get named. You didn't know, just what I was just saying with Claressa Shields. We didn't know who the hell Nakathila was before his name showed up under Stevenson. We didn't know who the hell he was. He was such a nobody. I didn't even take any time to go find out who he was. I did not care. I didn't go look at no shit on YouTube. Whatever. I'll tune in. I'll see what the dude is about on fight night. It's not that important. And what is dude now? That was the 16th fight for Shakur Stevenson. 16th fight. In comparison, I think what's my man? Teofimo Lopez. What is he at, like 17? 17 or 18? Look at how his career has been brought along. Wow. Major difference. Major difference. That man went from Nakatani to Comey. Then for all the marbles, however you want to look at that, against Lomachenko. Damn. Must be nice. It's a good gig if you can get it. Good gig if you can get it. So, yeah, I'm sitting in Jeremiah Nakathila. What? Okay. The fight that I was looking at on here was Jose Pedraza, two-time former two-division world champion Jose Pedraza, and Julian Rodriguez out of New Jersey, I believe. And wow, Rodriguez, I actually included him in a group that I was looking at for young 140 pounders. Shit, I think I wrote up 5 of them. I think 2 or 3 of them have lost recently. It's a make or miss business. What did they say in the NBA? It's a make or miss business, and I missed on that, trying to predict some stuff. Okay, my bad. I was just trying. I like the division. I'm a fan of the division. And the killer in the division is becoming the Subriel Matias cat. Dude in that division when it's all said and done. Yeah, Julian Rodriguez, I knew the whole night was a wrap for me when I learned that he came in overweight. This was the fight that he needed to catapult him into, an eliminator, top 2 or 3 in any of the sanctioning bodies. This was a fight that he really needed. And when I saw, I was off last week. I ain't gonna lie, because of Nakathila being the B side. I was just like, man, I mailed it in last week. I show up on fight night. I'm a supporter. But when I got into the telecast and they said that Rodriguez, I didn't even look at the weigh-ins on the Top Rank YouTube channel. I didn't look at none of that. So when I tuned in and saw that Rodriguez came in overweight, I was ready to go do something else last night. Pedraja, I don't know if you're familiar with this comedian named Sebastian Maniscalco. It's an Italian cat. Maniscalco does a lot of physical comedy, and he jumps around a lot. He squats down a lot, and he does a lot of physical comedy, basically. That's how Jose Pedraja bounces around the ring. The shit that Tank Davis made him pay for doing, Rodriguez wasn't able to do much at all. Pedraja has been up and down. He's been up and down in his outings on ESPN. I like the dude. Pretty good boxer. He just boxed the ears off of Rodriguez. The eye problem started popping up in the third or fourth round. Just using the jab, ring IQ, ring generalship, movement, distance, not being there to be hit. Just played chess with the dude all night. And Rodriguez, like I said, you're coming into this fight overweight, the biggest fight of your life. You got a live crowd. You've known about the fight. What was going on with you? I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't really even pay a lot of attention to this fight. I was so disappointed in what I saw through the opening rounds, and I saw kind of how Pedraja had the kid bottled up, and I was just watching it, man. Just had it on. The eye really becomes a problem, and then in the 10th, at the end of the 8th round, I don't know if he had Basil or Stitch, but they went to work on the eye a little bit. His left eye, he had a real big reaction to pressure being put on the eye when the dude had the towel and whatnot to get to wipe the blood away, and he just quit, man. I mean, gotta quit candy coating this stuff, man. He didn't want no more. His dad, I believe, is his head trainer. He was trying to talk him up for the last 2 rounds to try to salvage something. I mean, it's a long way down the mountain at 140, man. It's 8 or 10 guys at 140, if not a dozen. Now, you might be able to go against a guy like Elvis Rodriguez, who just lost a couple of weeks ago to Kenneth Sims Jr. You might not even have to come back against no name. It can just be a win or go home situation with Elvis Rodriguez. That was the other 140 dude who I was talking about. I did preface some things in the article, though. I was kind of vague in how much you should, like, if these dudes was stocks, I wasn't saying bet the house on these cats. But I just knew they had, a lot of them have good platforms. Brandon Lee is another. Shojahan Ergashev, or is it Ergashev Shojahan? Either or. Malik, what's my man's name? The freezer cat. Hawkins. He lost to Subriel Matias. He was stopped by him. Damn, I think my whole list might be gone besides Brandon Lee and Shojahan Ergashev. I think those might be the only 2 standing. It's a tough division, though. Tough division. Another super lightweight fight on there. Speaking of 140, the John Bowser cat from also from Puerto Rico. He took on Christian Edwards. Tim made the comment about Edwards looking like an alligator, very muscular, so on and so forth. He came into the fight 12-2. Was in the ring for over a minute before realizing that his mouthpiece wasn't in. That's how odd of a night it was. That was how odd of a night it was. And why I just was like, man, let me just watch this and get through it. Don't really have any big expectations for the night. But Bowser jumped on my man. Dropped him in the first round. I think that might have been the shot that it was kind of a cuffing shot. I think that was the one in the first round was the left hand kind of cuffed Edwards a little bit, but Edwards was hurt from a right hand that was that Bowser placed on him and really rocked him. So he went down then, and then he was down twice in the second round. I didn't really see all of that coming out of Bowser, as they mentioned when he got in there. Again, looking at his details of the dudes on his record, they said a lot of those cats had sub 500 records. That means they lost more than they won for the slow people. Talking sports right now is crazy because you can't even talk sports the way that you could talk sports 8 months ago. You know, you can't even talk sports no more. You got to talk. You got to talk sports face to face with only people that you see. You can't even make a comment on sports shit anymore on the internet. It's that bad. But I didn't think Bowser really had it in him. But he looked explosive. So, you know, he'll probably be back on he'll probably be back on Top Rank at some point and get another appearance. I liked his aggression. Didn't get to see a whole lot of him. He didn't have to do a whole lot because Edwards was right there to be hit. What else? The super featherweight fight, Manuel. All of this was on ESPN Plus on the ESPN streaming app. Manuel Rey Rojas took on Tyler McCreary out of Toledo, Ohio. McCreary's been he's been on the program a couple of times. Got some articles out there talking to the young man. Excuse me. You know that he was in last time out, he was in there against Carl Frampton. And he didn't have a good night. The film says what it says. He didn't have a good night against Frampton. He'd been off for a long time. They made some talk. They had some commentary about what went on in the fighters meeting. And McCreary, I saw what McCreary said on Instagram, and I congratulated him with being back, and try to give him a vote of confidence, and encouraging to take advantage of this. His opponent, Manuel Rey Rojas, was just defeated by another cat from Toledo in Albert Bell. And McCreary just he couldn't get it going for whatever reason, we kind of, I mean, it was what did people, I bet you Tim Bradley and Andre Ward, their names are trash right now in Toledo. The way that they talked about Tyler McCreary. You can't tell the truth on nothing. You cannot speak the truth about anybody's favorite athlete or who they know or whatever. But man, McCreary, I don't know what's going on. No real sense. I didn't see any real sense of urgency. You heard the they did that shit that they do. They went over into the corner, going into the eighth round, put the microphone on Coach Lamar Wright. He said all the right stuff. At the end of the day, man, the trainers can't fight for you. The cut men and the second and the assistant or whatever, they can't fight for you. You got kids and bills and shit and whatever's going on. You want your future. At the end of the day, all of that shit, you're accountable for all of that. The fighter, him or herself, is accountable for that. And you got to go in there and do something if that's what you want to do. And even maybe as early as the third round, I just saw a young man walking back to the corner, not really alive in that moment and really not looking like he was capable of summoning up what he needed to do to save his livelihood, what he's chosen to do as a profession. And then you got 5 more rounds of this shit that you kind of, it's like Maverick in Top Gun. After he came back after Goose got killed. That's what I was watching. when they had the bogeys and shit out there after he took the after he was called out to the aircraft carrier at the end of the movie, and Iceman had 2 or 3 MiGs on him, and Maverick went into his shit reminiscing about his friend, blaming himself for killing his friend and wouldn't engage. And the dude in the back of Maverick was yelling at him and shit like, hey, we got to go help them. That's what I was watching last night. That's what I was watching last night. You know, they do have events coming back together in Toledo. I think it's Pulse Boxing up there. You know, maybe it's an opportunity for McCreary to get a fight or two at home on smaller stages and maybe, you know, regroup. Maybe. He lost the fight though. 80-72 on 2 of the cards. 1 around on 1. But he drops to 16-2-1. You know, hold your head, bro, and figure out what you want to do, man, and find that passion and enthusiasm about yourself and about your career. Moving on, man. Welterweight action. The kid Xander Zayas, the youngest dude to ever sign with Top Rank. You know, this dude is active. He's big as hell for a welterweight. He's 18 or 19 years old or whatever. I like his energy. I like his attitude. I like how he presents himself. He didn't respond. He won't respond to my email for an interview, but you know, that's how it is. That's how it is. And that's how it was. What is that? Milk D said that. Xander Zayas took on Larry Friars from Ireland. Wow, you know, Zayas was just way bigger than the guy. A lot of reach. That left hook to the body, uppercut, left hook to the body, left uppercut upstairs. The kid does some advanced stuff for his age. It's all really polished looking. He jabs well, he bangs well, he mixes it up, he changes speeds. I saw him lifting that 70-pound dumbbell when they show him in the gym. For 18, 19-year-old kid, man, he just seems to be a gym rat and a weight room warrior or workout warrior or whatever. Like I said, he's active. I love how he's charging forward with his career. He gets the knockout in the 3rd round, improves to 9-0, I believe, with 7 knockouts. I want to say 6 or 7. I'm sure he'll be right back in. Like I said, he's a hard charger. The other fight that I was excited to see, which I didn't even recognize my man. It was a new look in lightweight. Brian Lua. He's one of the standout youngsters in the Robert Garcia Academy. For some reason, he really had his eyes set on fighting this Frevion Gonzalez cat. It kind of reminds me of the Ring City USA card or series a month and a half or so ago when they had the Mexican Puerto Rican rivalry thing going on for 3 different shows. But Lua, you know, he knew about Gonzalez and really wanted this fight. It was postponed before Lua had maybe a false positive COVID test or whatever that scrapped it the first time. But like I said, Lua's a guy that's done well with his appearances. He missed a lot of time, I guess, with the hand injury. But yeah, he cut his rolls off. I didn't know who the hell he was when I was still waiting for the dude with the rolls to climb in the ring. But so maybe he's changing up everything, thinking that now's the time. Bernardo Osuna did hint at the fact that there's some kind of important fight out there for him. And I don't know, you know, this is also, I don't know if you remember maybe 2 or 3 shows back, they had another interesting fight between some youngsters in Jermaine Ortiz and Jeremy Adorno, I believe. That was a really good fight. I think both of those cats, I think Jermaine Ortiz might have 10 or 12 wins. But that was another very rare matchup of undefeated or 1 loss and an undefeated fighter. And it was very entertaining. This one right here, Lua was the better boxer. Gonzalez was more of a big swinger, power guy, aggressive, shoot his shot type of guy. some of that lunging and missing badly quite often. I think that might have sapped him, sapped his energy a little bit. Lua was working him to the body as well as going up to the head here and there, punching around his guard with big left hooks. Just a more, game plan, more of a game plan that he followed, mixed it up well, and just kind of took the fight out of Gonzalez. I thought he was gonna get to stop him. Gonzalez from like the third round on was just fighting on instinct. I say he was tired. He had some damage under both eyes, and he did land a big shot. I want to say in the 5th round, maybe, but he just couldn't follow up anything with anything. And Lua, was turning him and catching him, stayed on the body attack. He picks up the unanimous decision, 60-54, 60-54, and then 58-56 on one card. So Lua, we'll see what that next opponent is that Bernardo Osuna mentioned. I don't know why he mentioned it on the air, and then you can't say what it is. Whatever. Also, welterweight, these youngsters, Kasir Go. I'm not gonna go into these fights, but Kasir Golston and Maurice Anthony. Thought that was a pretty good win for Golston. It looks like he respected the experience of Maurice Anthony. Seemed like he played it kind of safe for all 4 rounds, picked up the victory, showboated a little bit, danced a little bit, hitting, don't get hit, and just was contented to pick up the experience, more rounds under his belt, and got the victory. Laquan Evans against Troy Isley. Shout out to Troy Isley on being a part of the U.S. Olympic team, leaving for Japan here, maybe in a month and a half and whatnot. He was in there for his second fight at middleweight. He looked good. Got the TKO. It was a weird TKO from Russell Moore when he stepped in, the referee, to wave it off. Laquan Evans had taken some good shots all night long. I believe he's out of Philly. Isley out of VA. But Isley looked good. He landed, his jab was beautiful, and it was crisp. He was catching Evans with it here and there, getting his attention, snapping his head back. Landed some good power shots. He did, beat Evans up pretty well. But Evans, Philly strong. And I thought it was sad that I think, they only had 34 seconds left in the round, and you put a knockout loss on the man's record. And I don't know, man. I didn't really care for that. We'll get into some more controversial refereeing when we talk about the main event. Jahai Tucker against Israel Barbosa. Again, neither one of these guys have more than 3 wins. Jahai Tucker gets the victory, sweeping all 4 rounds. It's good for him and Golston to get on TV, man, and be on ESPN Plus. And we get to check out their development. Both of those guys can box pretty well. Jahai, I don't know, he showboated a little bit too much for me. He was hurting Barboza early, and just seemed content to showboat a little bit, smile at the camera, yell some stuff to the commentators and whatnot. Not really my thing, but he got the victory, so I guess he knew he could get away with it. Let's get to this Shakur Stevenson. Oh, well, let's get to this Shakur Stevenson fight, if you want to call it that. Look, man, he won the fight 120-107 on all 3 cards. Got the knockdown in the 4th round. I thought that was a bit of a cuffing shot itself. One thing here, since there wasn't a whole lot of offense, especially through the first half of the fight, referee Celestino Ruiz, he was the one that stopped. It was a women's bout that he stopped not too long ago. That was was weird to me. But here, he sat and watched the lead foot conflict between Southpaw Stevenson and Orthodox fighter Nakathila, and he was more concerned about that than anybody else in the building. He started mentioning that get off the foot stuff from the first round. A lot of the fight, if you kept an eye on him, he was staring at their feet intently. I thought some of his warnings, I thought distracted either guy or both guys. I just don't know what his fixation about, or his fixation on that. I don't know what it was about. It really didn't matter at the end of the day. He stopped the fight. What was that, 7th or 8th round, maybe 8th or 9th, 7th to 9th round. He stopped him and gave a really stern warning. You know, Andre Ward was like, well, who would you even deduct the point from? It's a natural part of this matchup with one guy being southpaw. I mean, their lead feet are going to be together, are going to be close to one another, and they're going to be moving around constantly and resetting and what, you know, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with Ruiz, but that was a major pet peeve for him, was no one stepping on the other guy's foot and doing it to try to gain an advantage. You know, Nakathila, man, was just he was just outclassed. Stevenson picks up the WBO interim super featherweight title, reestablishes himself as the mandatory for Jamel Herring. He says some more disrespectful stuff to Jamel Herring. You know, Herring has been disrespected and disregarded and viewed as the weak link out of the 130-pound guys since he's had that title. You know, that's just the brass tacks of it. And the thing is, after that performance right there, you know, and this people, just like I was saying with Claressa Shields to open this thing, I'm tired of being told how great Shakur Stevenson is. Guys who know as much as Tim Bradley and Andre Ward, guys who know that and who have that kind of knowledge base and an in-ring experience and so on and so forth all the time in the gym, all the training that they received and all the battles and all of that. Maybe they can speak confidently on that. But when I sit here and I look at what I'm seeing in the ring, I get the defensive prowess. I can't argue with that. But when they put the right combination, when they put a Marcos Maidana in there with you, somebody that's awkward with a lot of heart and a great motor, maybe all that elusiveness, maybe all that shit goes away. Maybe you fight that type of fighter with that combination and he's left-handed. So that whole foot thing and that, you know, the right hand being so far away, maybe that's not an issue anymore. And now you got probably, like I said, the Yoka Khan Clary cat that he just fought, that didn't tell me nothing. That didn't show me nothing. You just take 2 steps forward, pop the guy. Take 2 more steps forward, pop the guy. Jab, jab, take 2 steps forward, pop the guy. And that doesn't, how do I surmise that you're great from that? Like I said, Donovan Mitchell's the greatest Utah Jazz player ever. Hasn't even won a well, maybe they won their first round. They won their first round NBA playoff series. Karl Malone is a top 3. Is it top 3 or top 4 now? 4 or 5 all-time scorer in the history of the league. And somehow Donovan Mitchell surpasses him as the greatest Utah. And I know Karl Malone is a creep. I know we hate the man personally. I get that. I know that that's the most, I know that Donovan Mitchell is probably he's definitely the most modern player when it comes to the leaping ability, the athleticism, And the way that he's shooting the three and so on and so forth, I get all of that. One-on-one, you put him and a 26-year-old Stockton on the court together. I get all of that. But you can't erase, shout out to Flip, you can't erase what they did without Donovan Mitchell having done any of that to this point. Same here with Shakur Stevenson. You beat Joet Gonzalez for a vacant title? And, you know, boxing is just a sport. Like I said earlier with the French Open, I just watched Novak Djokovic in a hell of a match in the semifinal against Rafa Nadal, and then today in the final against Tsitsipas after being down 0-2 in the first two sets, coming back and winning that to win his second career Grand Slam. That's winning all four of them. That's great. How can he be great and Shakur Stevenson be great and Claressa Shields be great? I get it that those are different sports, but I'm just saying, like, it's got to be, the deliverables have to be there. The memories have to be there. The moments have to be there before we start putting these labels on some of these cats. Damn. He came out today. I saw he put on social media. He said he wasn't feeling well. And I'm not buying that, bro. You just, for whatever reason or the other, you just didn't get it done on the way that many people thought you should have gotten it done, because there was not a lot of respect for Nakathila. No big deal. No big deal. Ain't nobody gonna complain. No black fans gonna complain. You can't say nothing about no black fighter. Can't say nothing about no black fighter. Out your damn mind. Out your goddamn mind. I didn't think it was necessary for Tim Bradley to say, I'm falling asleep. Like, at the end of the day, you represent ESPN boxing. It's ESPN boxing. You didn't have to shit on the product like that. You should have excused yourself from the event, because you knew this was what we were gonna see when the shit was made. You should have found a reason to not be there if you're gonna go down to that. Ward and Bradley piling it up on Tyler McCreary. You know. I can't defend the golden child there. But to sit here and say that I had problems staying awake, I didn't really care. To be honest, I didn't really care. I didn't think that was necessary. It's other events out here. There's other sporting events where this same type of stuff happens, and you don't hear Joe Buck say that. You don't hear Mike Breen say that. You don't hear Al Michaels say that on a game that gets out of hand. I mean, I thought that was unnecessary. But, you know, it's boxing. It's boxing. It is boxing. But that's, you know, when you set the expectation, when you start talking knockout in the first round and in the second round, just because of the differential in the skill level and whatnot. And now, because you said what you said, a la Chris Mannix, when he knocked down Andy Ruiz, he is a composed killer. Watch this. Uh-oh. Yeah, just because you jump out there on a limb and say something and then the athlete doesn't live up to that, well, he was never going to live up to that. He's done nothing to this point to really suggest that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Bite Down Boxing fighter of the weekend. I got to go to Jose Pedraza. by default. I guess. Hell, maybe Xander Zayas. Nah, and honestly, man, I didn't watch the DAZN card. I saw Lewis Ritson. I think he got defeated. Babbitt. I'm gonna check that fight out probably later on tonight, maybe. Again, boxing can't be great every week. I get that. Next week, perfect segue right there. Next week, all kind of stuff going on. All kind of stuff going on. Dude, take the time. Had an interesting interview yesterday with Blair Cobbs. That's on the channel, on the playlist. That was another reason, like, I didn't feel like it wasn't in my best interest to really talk to Buddy, who left the bullshit comment on my channel. It was moments like yesterday where I really don't need to I don't really need to state like my background, what I've done or whatever. I don't like, you just don't rock with me. I would never rock with you. So there was no reason for us to be talking. But I was reached out to by the PR person. I had 30 minutes to get ready for the interview, but I had to put it together. I had to get some questions together. I had just finished mowing my yard. Had to throw on a hoodie real quick and a ball cap to halfway look put together. I'm sitting here with grass clippings and stuff all on my shins and in my socks. But I was contacted by the PR guy and said, hey, I need, I didn't even know about this fight. Again, it's Golden Boy. Their media, shit. You can't even get pictures from Golden Boy for this shit. I honestly don't understand. It's not even on BoxRec. Jaime Munguia and Camille Zeramita is not even on BoxRec right now. Well, it might be today. It wasn't last week. Or it wasn't yesterday. But it's shit like that that lets me know what I have done. I haven't just been sitting here arguing with people on Twitter about what I think for the last 3, 4, 5 years. I've actually done enough to where someone thought enough of me and my small platform, and my small platform. Somebody thought enough of me to reach out to me and trust that, I do a solid interview. For a guy that's going to be on the opener of the DAZN Boxing next week against Brad Solomon. It's little wins like that. It's little victories like that I guess that's as good as it's going to get. I guess that's as good as it's going to get. Somebody call you out the blue and say, hey, now, if I call my man, the same guy back and say, hey, can I get at Mario Barrios? He also represents him too, or handles his PR. You too small for your channel is too small for that. I'm sorry, Wood. He's only doing I'm sorry, man. I can get you so-and-so though, who's 9-0. And 9-0. I'm like Stringer Bell, a 40-degree day. You know what people say about a 40-degree day? Nothing. Shit. 50 degrees? 60? 70? Shit, they got the grill out. Whatever you said. I haven't watched that one in a long time, but a 40-degree day. That's what the offer is a lot of times. A 40-degree day, the equivalent of a 40-degree day. I got somebody 2-0 I can get you. Nah, shout out to my dude. I appreciate him thinking of me. It was weird because I happened to actually be on my computer doing something when the phone rang, and I saw his extension from Las Vegas, and his name, pops up, and I'm like, what is this about? And he's like, yo, I need you to talk to or I need some interview for Blair Cobbs. He's fighting next week. I'm like, damn, bro, you ain't I'm sitting here with fully lathered from cutting my yard in 80 some degree weather, speaking of 80 degrees. But anyway, check that out. All kinds of action next week. All kinds of action next week. Jamel Charlo and Juan Macias Montiel over on Showtime. One of the most disappointing big time fights on the schedule right now. Yeah, I know it was one. Teofimo Lopez, George Camboso Jr. on the Triller app. Keep in mind that right now the price point on that one today is, I want to say, it's $49. It's either 39 or 49 right now. On fight night, it's going up $10. So if you want to check that one out, buy it today. Make up your mind today. That's another thing that I was pointing out that nobody gave a shit about. Nobody has responded to anything that I said or any of my commentary on that situation, but let me waste some more of my time as I'm watching. This is in the third quarter with Phoenix and Denver, 65-63 Phoenix. They just hit to go up 67-63. But Triller came in here. We're gonna be a disruptor. We paid $6 million for this fight. That would have only been about 2.8 million, 2.5 million. The zone put in a bid of, I think, 3.5 or 3.6 million. But they came in like, they would. I don't know if Evander Holyfield was going to be on the card or one of these senior citizens or retired fighter exhibitions. This shit is a full-on boxing card. Full-on boxing card. Some more details that I was talking about that nobody gave a shit about was the fact that Peter Khan, who I believe, I don't know if he's a COO or he's just the boxing guy or the president of boxing for Triller. Nobody has said anything about the conflict of interest. He is George Cambosos Jr.'s manager. He went over to the Kavanaugh. He contacted the Kavanaugh cat, the owner of TikTok and Triller. I think it's Ryan Kavanaugh. He contacted him and said, you need to do whatever it takes to get this fight. That's what he told him. It was an interview. He told him, you need to do whatever to get this fight to go along with what you're trying to do for the type of events. This is a great like tent pole or anchor event. You need to go all out for this. So Kavanaugh responds and puts in this $6 million bid or whatever. And Peter Khan's client or fighter, George Camboso Jr., gets this 2.3? Some 2 million dollar payday. Had never made anything over probably 500K, 750. I don't know. It is in my, I guess, and now that I've talked about some more detail, anybody buying this? Anybody? Big news last week. Quick aside, they did mention on the broadcast last night that, and I kind of expected that this would happen in a way. If you paying attention and following along, there was a makeup. They mended defenses, top rank, and Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Jr. They amended the contract. Looks like it's gonna go through what 2023, I believe. He's gonna get higher minimums, probably a pay-per-view type opportunity on ESPN Plus. And you know, they kissed and made up. Some more detail I was talking about that nobody gave a shit about. It's only 2 or 3 dudes that can talk about shit that, any of the important shit. It's only 2 or 3 guys that can talk about it, and this shit works for them in terms of downloads, listens, plays, comments, likes, people sharing the shit, people taking your shit and using it to criticize you on their podcast. It's only a handful of dudes that can do it. Everybody else, we just got to sit here and call fighters bitches and N-words and say ho and a bunch of corny ass jokes. The rest of us got to get involved with all of that type of stuff. Or you sit here with nobody in the live chat like me for the past 40 minutes. But I'm watching the game really. But you knew that Teofimo Lopez, I'm gonna go out here and do this and be independent, and you don't have, your name doesn't carry that kind of weight just yet, young man. I mean, come on. This shit ain't as easy as all of these guys would like to think that it is. It's just not. This shit is relationship based. It's a lot of moving parts. And you see only a guy right now, the only guy that's making this shit happen is Canelo Alvarez. And that's because somebody wants to be in bed with him bad enough to do all the other legwork to make the shit. Why you think Hearn is sitting out here trying to negotiate this Caleb Plant situation? And there's no commitment right now. There's nothing, binding or holding Canelo to Hearn right now. So he doing some more shit on good faith, hoping that something comes back from it. The same way that he went out here and worked on this Saudi Arabia fight for 8 months pro bono. But this card is a straightforward boxing card, courtesy of Peter Kahn, not CONKAHN. But he did his thing because he gets a portion of whatever his fighter gets. So he just helped everybody out. He helped everybody out, unless don't nobody buy this shit Saturday. Who is buying it? Even if it is $49.95. And I really would like to see Teofimo Lopez in the ring. Be honest with you, I ain't buying the shit. I'm not logging in to something else. I'm not setting up another. And you can call this hating. I'm not telling others not to do it. If you like Teofimo Lopez like that, again, man, I look at this shit like one of the investors on Shark Tank. I'm out. I got a card on the Showtime subscription that I already pay. I'm probably not fooling with that DAZN shit with Jaime Munguia. I mean, it might be on my phone or my laptop. I'm gonna be over with Noia anyway. Over on ESPN. It's a no-brainer. That's hating though. Yes, it's a crowded ass Saturday. Oh, I just noticed something. Hold on quickly. Hold on. Battery wasn't plugged in. My bad. I forgot I brought my laptop back in here, didn't plug it up. Yeah, I got too many options last week, man, to dig in my pocket for George Kambosos Jr. Sorry. Love boxing. I just can't. I love myself too. I need that $50 for something else. Interestingly, the WBC title is not on here on BoxRec. So it's not for Undisputed. We don't know what the hell that franchise, whatever the franchise WBC shit, whatever. Andy Vinces against John O'Carroll for the vacant WBC International Silver Super Featherweight title. Not a bad fight. Michael Hunter against Mike Wilson. I don't know who Mike Wilson is. Hunter didn't want to fight with Felipe Hergovich. Okay. The only thing that I really wanted to see Franchon Cruz Dezern and Ellen Sieta-Roos. I really did. I really do. That's undisputed. Super middleweight. I really want to see that fight. And I feel so bad because I didn't even bother reaching out to Franchon to see if I could get her on for an interview because I knew I wasn't buying this fight. And I didn't want to be fake about it. So I was like, let me not bug this woman for this very important moment. I almost reached out to Sieta-Roos. I've been checking out her training on Instagram. She's tall. Some decent, she's rangy. I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. Franchon Cruz is 7-1, like I mentioned at the top of this live stream. She dropped her first fight to Claressa Shields. Sieta-Roos is 8-0, just defeated Alicia Napoleon Espinosa, maybe a year and a half ago now or whatever, in a great fight. Motherfucker gonna tell me I don't know 3 women that Claressa Shields could fight. Fuck out of here, man. I don't know 3 women. Maybe you don't know 3. Because you don't pay attention to none of this shit. But I really want to see that fight, but I can't. It might really be the money. I damn sure don't want to see none of them bullshit ass rappers on there. It might not even be the money per se, as much as I just don't feel like going through the whole login process or any of that shit. I'm cool on that. The fight in Houston at the Toyota Center. Yeah, man. Jamal Charlo, WBC middleweight champion, taking on Juan Montiel, the Kirkland. Ooh, some fisticuffs almost, or some conflict out here with Devin Booker and Jokic on my tennis shit. Montiel, the James Kirkland killer. Angelo Leo is back against Aaron Alameda, who's 25-1. That's a pretty good fight. Little Bulldog. Damn, he smacked the shit out of Cameron Payne. I guess that's what set things off. Little Bulldog Isaac Cruz is taking on Francisco Vargas, who's 27-2-2. Cruz is 21-1-1. Okay. And then super bantamweight action, Michael Angeletti 2-0 against Luis Javier Valdez, whatever. Obviously the story here is that it's June 19th, also known as Juneteenth, and you got one brother on the card again, and I'm gonna tune in just because I think that might be the only reason why I have Showtime right now is for boxing. I don't know if I got a series that I'm watching on Showtime right now, so I got to get my money's worth. Then let's go over to so what we just had Triller, Showtime, and then the big one. Oh well, the Zone, which Golden Boy is like, hey man, you know the fight is coming. You know the fight is coming. We ain't got to go through the hassle of putting that shit up on BoxRec where every other fight in boxing is posted. That shit is horrible. Naoya, in a way, the monster. Against Michael Das Marinas. I am not that familiar with Das Marinas, 32-1. Naoya Inoue is the WBA and IBF champion. I like what he had to say the other night, man. The dude is a he's a professional in the ring, out of the ring. You don't get all that upsell shit. You don't get all of that out of a lot of the overseas cats. So he kept it pretty straightforward. I think it's gonna be a pretty good event. Damn. Top Rank every once in a while they're a little laggy on the getting the undercard information up. So right now on BoxRec it's only Naoya and Das Marinas listed. Let me see something real quick. See something real quick. Get into this email. See if I can get you the rest of those. The rest of that card. I can't. And there's so much action right now, man. I haven't, like I said, I haven't been paying attention to it like I normally do because nobody really gives a shit. So what difference does it make? Walking around with a bunch of schedules and shit in your head, and the dude who doesn't know shit, he can say whatever, and y'all the same height. Y'all got the same standing and whatnot. Trying to find the email. We do it this way. In a way. Damn, Top Rank. You would figure as weak as last night's card on Lopez dog bet. Yeah. That my weak Jeezy ad lib in there. Yeah, Adam Lopez and Isaac, that's gonna be a banger. One thing about Adam Lopez, he can box, especially if he's on, he can box his ass off. Isaac Dogbay, he's been up and down. Big splash on the scene with a couple of big knockouts. And then got worked 2 fights in a row by what was his name? El Vaquero. Emmanuel Navarrete. But yeah. So it's a 10-rounder featherweight showdown between NABF champion Adam Blue Nose Lopez and former junior featherweight world champion Isaac Royal Storm Dogbay. That will open the ESPN telecast for Naoya Inoue and Das Marinas. The next 2 shows are coming from the theater at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. Who else is on there? That might be all the information that's out right now. Oh no. Yeah, that's all the other information that's out there right now. So normally I would check back in later in the week and put the schedule out there, what time it starts. Damn, did they put Jokic out the game? Normally I would do all of that, but that's a big waste of my time. Y'all don't care when the shit comes on. Y'all will figure it out So what difference does it make? Again, man, we don't. Yeah, they kicked Jokic out with 3:52 to go in the third quarter. That's big. So I believe that, yeah, and then so that's what Triller, that's Showtime, and then that was ESPN, and then on the Zone, nothing from them. Ain't got no email from them either. But in the main event will be Jaime Munguia against. They shook hands before he left, though. That's what an MVP should do. In Jokic. Yeah, you got and the main event is Jaime Munguia against Camille Zaramita, who we just found out who he was against Triple G. Co-main event, Bektamir Melikuziev, Bek the Bully, against King Gabe Rosado. I think that's super middleweight action. And then an opener will be Blair the Flair Cobbs against King Brad Solomon. So again, my money is already good with the Zone. My Showtime subscription is what it is. That's a monthly. And then my ESPN is part of my monthly cable bill. I'm not going in my pocket for a Triller. I'm sorry. I hope others do. It's probably a good thing that they renegotiated that before the Triller numbers came out. It's probably a good thing that they went on and made that concession and said, hey, let's go on and shut this shit down. Like, hey, we came up, we got the bag. We got the bag times 2 plus, really. So let's go on and make up and go back to the rivers. What is it? The rivers and lakes, the lakes and streams that you used to. Yeah, let's go on back home and because all the action, anything that you want to do from 135 to 140 is all top rank anyway. What are the 140 dudes doing over at PBC right now? The Zone's 135 and 140 roster spots might be vacant. It's just not where they're dominant. So, yeah, man, it was probably good to go on and get that over with before. What is it, Meek Mill? And let me see if I can find that email. Trash ass music. We don't watch the Super Bowl halftime shit. I'm gonna sit here and watch this. I had it on here. Let's see what this email. Among the world-class music announced for the highly anticipated in-person and pay-per-view extravaganza include Mike Towers, Snoop Dogg, Meek Mill, Faruko, and Lune. Yeah, right now it's $49.99. The pay-per-view is now available for purchase for $49.99, US and Canada. Fans outside North America can check the fight link. What else? Some bullshit details that nobody gives a shit about. In addition to being a co-owner, Snoop Dogg also provides strategic counsel to Triller Fight Club. Man, I wish I could have made one great album. One great album. Snoop been working for 30 years now. This in this current capacity, providing strategic counsel to Triller Fight Club, helping to select fighters and musical acts for the show-stopping events, and an entertainment expert who has successfully maneuvered ski masked through a range of projects in a variety of different fields. Snoop secured his spot as a fan favorite during Triller's first sporting event, Tyson versus Jones. Yeah. Okay, well, let me go on and finish out this last quarter in of this NBA game, minus Jokic. Y'all have a phenomenal week, man. I can waste my time and say, leave a comment and tell me what fight you're looking forward to most next week. Since everybody showed up today, I'm sure I'll get plenty of comments. So yeah. Where are you spending your time and/or money next week on a fight night on 4 platforms? Or how you making it work? Laptop, iPad, or tablet, cell phone, and TV? Or you gonna skip one? Let me throw some shit out there like I care what the fuck you gonna do. Right? Anyway, let me get on out of here, man. Fight down boxing, don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. 1.